Hello. This is the first edition of a series that I am starting, doing tours of different books in my bookshelf. And I thought I'd start with the books that tend to be closest to me, the books from my childhood. Now, if you think of fantasy books, fantasy children's books, there's probably a couple of series that pop into your head. For me, it's Harry Potter and Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia. So starting with Harry Potter, just in case you need a bit of background on this book, it is about 3 children, primarily, Harry, Ron and Hermione, who are all 11 in this particular book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and they go to a school of magic called Hogwarts. I'm not sure exactly how old I was. I think I was about 10, so possibly a little late to the Harry Potter party, considering the book was published in 1997. I was born in 2002, and then I wouldn't have read it until 2011, 2012. Now, obviously, we don't talk about the author, but the narratives themselves within all the books they're famous for a reason. They're encapsulating. It has been quite a while since I've read these books. I may have read this one a couple of times, but certainly not all of them. I think I give Harry Potter, as a rating, about 4 out of 5, and recommend it for about 10 or 11, because I feel like that is when you get the most enjoyment out of the series, because you're the same age as the characters. Now for me, The Chronicles of Narnia is a very important series. I started reading them when I was around 8. I started with the second book, which is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which is a, very famous movie, which I enjoyed so ridiculously much as a child. It made me want to be an actor. For a background for anyone who doesn't know, the siblings in this book are Peter, who is 13, Susan is 12, Edmund is 10, and Lucy is 8. I think I would recommend these books for children around 9 or 10. I was a good reader for my age, but even though the author uses simplistic language, the themes are something you could get more out of, closer to 10, I think. There is a lot of good to be taken from these books, but they do need to be read carefully. Certainly it made me look around my life for where entrances to Narnia might be, but I still give it a 4.5 out of 5 and not a 5, because while I love it, many readers will really struggle with the gender stereotypes, understandably, and the underlying Christian messages might make some people uncomfortable. And I do find particular frustration with the treatment of Susan in the last novel, but I won't give away why. There's actually a Tumblr post link below that I wrote a while ago that kind of goes into why I have a problem with the way Narnia ends. Now, I've discussed this book and the series in recent videos because I studied it for class or university. These are some of the older looking covers. Now, these mystery novels follow Julian, who is 12, Dick, who is 11, George, short for Georgina, who is also 11, and Anne, who is 10. And they are cousins. Julian, Dick, and Anne are siblings, and George is their cousin. The series has a serious gender-related hierarchy. Julian is at the top, and then Dick, and then George, who is a girl, and Anne is at the bottom. It's also age-related, but gender plays a big role in that. Indeed, it's not unusual for the boys to want to go off on adventures by themselves and leave the girls behind. George is a very fascinating character. She's a girl, but it's very emphasized that she wants to be a boy. She wants to be treated like a boy. She wants to be seen as a boy. She wants to be called master, not mistress. But Enid Blyton, the author of these books, said that the character is based on herself, so we have to assume that George is just a very enthusiastic tomboy and is not trans. Especially for the time it's written. This book was published in 1942. It's very unlikely that a character in this book would be trans. I recommend this series for kids 6+, but I think that parents should have that conversation with their children, like, hey, there are some gender roles in these books, and we don't expect that of you. You can be whoever you want, no matter who you are. So I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's lovely, but flawed, of course, because of the time it was written and published. Now, another Enid Blyton series, The Secret Seven. It's very similar to the famous 5, but it is written for a younger audience and its characters are younger. You could even read these books to a child that is 4 or 5 and they'd still enjoy it. that discussion about gender roles is still necessary. But as these kids are younger, it is actually less of a problem. I read them myself around 7 or 8, and then again probably around 11 or 12. Once again, I'd say a rating of about 4 out of 5. I wanted to include Heartstopper because even though it is not a book from my childhood, I very much wish that it could have been. I think it was published in 2016. I could be wrong. Oh, 2019. I think it was published on Webtoon in 2016. This is volume 2. Volume 1 is on the way. In fact, here is a clip of me unboxing this. I'm not filming on my camera because I don't have it on me, but I have a package and I'm going to open it right now. Everyone can guess what it might be. This is it. My very own copy. So even though I didn't read these books until after the Netflix series, I would recommend it to kids 12 plus, I think. As you get into more of these books, you'll see that there are some quite serious themes, self-harm, eating disorders. So I adore it and I'm very excited to own it. I hope a lot of kids can read these books at the right time in their lives and get the messages within them. And also, bisexual representation is so important, and there is not enough of it. And when it is done, it's done incorrectly. So this has an important place in my heart already. Thank you very much for watching. I think this series will need quite a few more parts, even more parts about books from my childhood. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next week for what might be the first vlog of June. Yeah, I think it'll be the first vlog of June.